Welcome back, gamers. It's Simply Fun Gaming here again, and we're going to take another look at Shadows of Forbidden Gods. This is going to be the third in the Let's Play series. We're going to continue with our game of trying to destroy the world. So at the end of the last game, we left our courtier who was trying to steal the ruler's item from a Rate Bastion here, Baron Winterport. He's trying to steal his item, and we're going to attempt to use that to cause some international political issues between these two nations here. I believe this one is called Usions. So look. Yep, Usions and Essions, is it? Yeah, there we are. Fairly confusing names, but that's how it is. So let's proceed with a few turns. All of our agents are busy. We've got no more slots. We've got no more power. So let's proceed with a few turns. You do tend to skip turns fairly frequently in the game. And then you've got actions, sort of periods of quite intense action. So our supplicant has made it to the city of Fass. There, I believe, he's going to try and purchase some items. I say try, there's no difficulty to this, unless we make it difficult for ourselves, and why would we? Let's buy an item. What's the security here as well? 5, not great. Let's buy a... yeah, we'll buy a hood. How much money is this going to cost us? 35 gold, and he has on his person 109, so we can get a couple of those. We'll get that hood, we'll reduce his menace, and then there we are. So we've got the hood here. We have to... this is a bit confusing to new players, I think. You need to take the hood. You can take all, but you can swap individual items. And then that's now in his inventory. I could literally buy this item, spend the gold, and not take it, just waste it if I just press done immediately, which is a bit of a tricky one. Either way, let's take this hood. There we go. Oh, he's been idle. Shouldn't have left him there. So he's got a hood now. What's this? -5 profile. That could be a good thing because it will mean that he's on 4 profile. It's more difficult. How much is this? 35 gold again? What does this do? Gives us more experience depending on when they travel. Let's do that one. We'll get some experience going for him. Choose that, take all, there we are, done. Go to, right, let us now, I think we need to start, oh look at this, yeah, I've got this place here as well. Yeah, let's start reducing the security of some of these locations. So we're going to, what's this village looking like? Security 1. Could reduce that for 25 gold. It's going to be all this gold spent up though, which is a bit of a negative thing. Let's not do that then. What we're going to do is infiltrate. That'll take 19 turns, gutted. But either way, we'll infiltrate this location. Then I think, is this one? It's got a market as well, excellent. And I think we might infiltrate this one. We might try and infiltrate this abbey, and then we'll try and take a city location. I'll also save up some power and try and start infiltrating places a little bit quicker using my Eyes in the Shadows ability. Power, rather. But for now, let's stay where we are. I wonder if this creature that I created, was it ever attacked? Ah, there we are, yes. So this hero, Sergueville, great name, is attempting to purge his fleeting servant. She's got 2 turns left on that. She gets 3 progress a turn. It doesn't take a long time, but she's had to move down here to do this, which is obviously keeping her from other tasks. So power well spent there. How long did it have left in the location? 14 turns. So yeah, it's a great, good to keep her busy. Let's skip a few more turns. More wards are being built to protect against shadow. It's that king again, isn't it? And our Hierophant has completed his task of laying low. You can see his profile and menace have both reduced now. What I think I'm going to do with him is we're going to Well of Shadows. We've got to, yeah, let's Well of Shadows. Let's get back here. We'll do... has he got any money? No. How rich is this person? 202. From them first, 10 turns, 2 turns. Yeah, let's take the money first and then we'll Well of Shadows. So a mediator has taken damage from doing one of their quests, Drive Back Shadow, and they took it directly. Let's have a look at this person. They've also obviously reduced the shadow of the location, but as it says here, but not the ruler, which is good. Let's have a quick look at this. Oh crikey, they're all got a lot of shadow getting reduced. Dismiss, we'll take all your gold, thank you. Oh, and now this Hierophant has gained a personal enemy, Mediator Sabek SLL. Okie dokie, let's dismiss that, and we'll take a look. Is this our man that was... curious, he took damage, yet his hit points are max. That's surprising to me. Maybe he took it on his defense. What's his defense stat here? Defense. Defense 2. That's why he didn't take any damage. So he took damage there because of the modifier at this location that we put on it earlier. We increased the danger of all these different tasks that heroes can do, if you recall. So we've robbed this place, that's great. Let's now create a well of shadows. What's a death? No, it's far too low to create an army of dead there. 8.5% is not going to make a formidable army, so we'll leave that. And then we'll proceed. Okay, great. So we've got the Daughterhood. This is a unique event. It can happen to any agent at any time. And this allows us to recruit a very powerful kind of an agent. Well, you'll see. So the Daughterhood cult has existed for centuries, a sect weaving through humanity's religious texts and developments. I won't read all of this, you can read it yourselves at your leisure. You can pause the video and read that if you prefer. What we're going to do is call her to serve. So she's going to wait in Ribliso Citadel. We could do with noting, I wish it showed us where that was. So the last sentence is relevant here. Lately, however, the seeing daughter of Ribliso Citadel has started screeching in terror, raving that the end has come and that the time of the unmaking is nigh. So we need to take an agent to this citadel, Ribliso Citadel. And then we can start to recruit this daughter as a minion, and from there we can try and get the first daughter that is a very powerful asset. So let's call her to serve, and let's try and find. There are various, something I haven't showed you too much of is, I've showed you the nation mask, as we can see here, various masks. But there are a number of different ones, and there's one of them that is for, let's have a look. I'm sure there is one for a location. Oh, perhaps not. So it's Ribliso Citadel. Okay, so we know it's a citadel. Let's do it by modifiers. No, that's not the one. We want to do it by... Citadels tend to have fortresses, so it's going to be one of these. Issions, boots, freight, fort. It's here, look. This one. So because it's a citadel, we know that it's got a fortress. Hence we can use the modifier. Sorry, the... which one was it? The point of view, the point of interest rather, finder, to find all the fortresses, and then you can easier find the location. It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. So we need to get an agent down here. Thankfully, I think our supplicant isn't too far away. He is up here. So once he's finished this, maybe I'll pop down here and try and get this first daughter. Let's let him do what he's doing for now. Unscrupulous support again for the courtier. Again, it's that progress, isn't it? And I don't know what he's on. Let's just do it this time. Let's just see how we get on there. He'll probably finish quite soon now. More wards are getting created against shadow. Is this... No, it's not too much of an issue for us. We've got 2 power. I'm going to use it to try and infiltrate this. Maybe this. Yeah, let's use it to infiltrate this location. Eyes in the shadows. So we've got 1 infiltration straight away at the vast sewers there from using that power. It's a great little power, really good to keep. Often I'll just spam that power, to be honest. It is very useful to continue to do throughout the game. But it can also be good, of course, when you're using that power, you're not using something like dangers in the dark or fleeting servants. So you've really got to balance which of these powers you want to use at what time. Let's go through a few more turns. More wards. We're going to dismiss these wards now, I think. Aha, so the courtier, again, another item box here. The courtier has managed to steal this item from King Sinus Seisakai. Does nothing by itself, as it says, but you can use it for schemes. You can't use it for rituals at the moment, so that'll, again, come later. So you might be able to, for example, curse the king if you've got a personal item from them. But we're going to take that. Oh dear, he's got a nemesis as well, mediator, who looks fairly scary, to be honest. He doesn't look like a mediator. We'll dismiss that. We know he's taking the item. Thank you for telling me, game. He's leveled up as well. This little symbol here means that the agent has leveled up. It will prompt you at the end of the turn anyway, so I tend not to worry about it too much. Okay, so we've got that item. What we're going to do... Oh, perfect, I've infiltrated this, so I believe... Who's the ruler here? It's a baron. And is this the king? Interesting. So we can actually create a scandal in this very location. Let's have a look at this here, see what we're looking at. So I could try and cause a civil war. I don't think it's a sensible idea, given how small the nation is. There's only three locations within this nation. So let's go to this location here, and we're going to cause a scandal here. So this should make this duke dislike this king. I could even take it to the capital and do it there, make the kings hate each other, but the capital is quite far away. Yeah, it's a bit far away, so we'll do it this close first, and I might spread it. I might take some more personal items and spread it even further. But for now, let's continue with this. Let's level up our... It's an intrigue he's doing. He tends to do a lot of intrigue, our courtier. So we'll level that up. Okay, another event, Merchant of Antiquities. So again, I'm not going to read all the text this time. I'll allow you to read that at your leisure. But we can see here that effectively we're being blackmailed by this merchant. However, it's not the worst sort of blackmail. He's offering us an item, so we can either gain profile and menace. It's a lot to gain. This is why you need gold, really, to avoid some of these events that can be quite debilitating if you don't have any gold. So we can take the hit. I'm not going to do that. It's too much in my opinion. We can buy a rare item. Requires 30 gold, which is going to be pretty much him spent up, but it gives you a chance of getting a random rare item, a chance of getting a random common item, or a chance of getting nothing, a useless item. Or we could buy a trinket. Guarantees a random common item, it's only 20 gold. This is, for me, the better option. It's cheaper, you're guaranteed to get something of use, so let's do that. And we've got another ring. Some of the common items are pretty good, as you can see, so just take all and I'll take it there. So now we've got a forgettable ring, we've got an unassuming hood, and we've got boots of the scholar. Our supplicant is becoming quite the decked out agent there. Unfortunately, none of his items are very good in a fight, but fingers crossed he won't need to get into a fight. What's his profile? Yeah, 4 profile and 19 menace, not very high at all considering the work he's been doing. So let's go through a few more turns here. Oh, okay, so this mediator, this hero is he's not attempting, he has disrupted our courtier's activities, which means that he's lost 25 progress, which is quite a lot actually. However, they do lose health. It's unfortunate because the courtier, as you can probably tell by his little picture here, he's not exactly handy in a fight. That's not his specialty, but nothing we can do about this for now. There are potentially things we can do later. We can simply kill this character if we wish, or we can make their reputation such that they might not be let into certain nations where our courtier is operating. But for now, we've got to dismiss it. The Well of Shadows is complete. Great. So this effect, Well of Shadows, will spread shadow to all adjacent locations. Not to ruins, pointless. Nor will it do it to it will do it to the valley, but it doesn't help us in any way. But any civilized location, this is great. And if they haven't got wards, as we can see, this location, Duindif village, no wards, it means they're unprotected. No wards from this city of Riginimafu, unprotected. So they're going to slowly increase the amount of shadow. Well, I say slowly, faster than they would otherwise. They're going to have extra shadow going into their location. So what I might do is, I think we should, let's have a look. Does this have a market? It does. Let's take a, this one does not, I believe. Perhaps this one does. It does, yes. So let's go to this location. Or should we go to here and start? No, we'll go to this location and we'll buy some things. He's got some money to spend, I believe. Yeah, 200 gold. He's definitely got some money to spend. Right, so we'll go to there. We'll buy some items. He's not much of a fighter. He's not much of a tactician either. I think his skills are best suited for intrigue and lore. Okay, so let's see how we're getting on with spreading shadow there. Great. Ah, so another hero has taken damage in a location. They've taken 3 damage, potentially blocked by defense. 3 damage were dealt to them, so let's have a look if they've actually taken damage. And they've driven back shadow, dismiss that. Our hero has reached his destination, our agent rather, yeah, so they've got 2 defense. They took 1 total damage from that attack. This can be key when you're battling with heroes. We're not doing it for now, but when we do start battling heroes, this actually becomes very important. These little chips of damage, it can literally make the difference between winning and losing an encounter. So, we've reached our location. I'd like to buy... plus 1 attack, not great. Oh, crikey, it's all things that he doesn't need. And we can't force a restock of the market because we haven't infiltrated. Right, so what I think we're going to do is... This is going to take 30 turns, you. Security 5, right. Let us... What's security here? 3. I think we're going to go here. We're going to start bribing some guards, and we're going to eventually aim to make this a place where it's completely under our control. So bad move by me, I went to the wrong place, and unfortunately I should have checked the items beforehand, they weren't particularly useful. It's a learning experience for us all. Let's go ahead there. Another Baroness is falling to shadow. This doesn't surprise me given the amount of shadow is spreading. Yeah, so she's at 50% now. Great. He's reached his location. So let's bribe some guards, and I'm hoping I'll get power soon. Fingers crossed. Because what I'd like to do is use a power to infiltrate 1 point of interest at this location, then immediately start infiltrating another. This will take 1 turn. It reduces the security of a location, which makes it easier to infiltrate. Cities are the hardest locations to break into by nature of their size and the guard force that would be active there. So let us move this turn. We've bribed the guards. Security has dropped to 1 now, as you can see. Dismiss that. Dismiss that. Let us take a quick look here. Still 1 power, that is a shame. What we might do then is... Oh, I could do another one of shadows, just really start spreading that shadow everywhere. I am tempted. Let's have a look. 10 turns as well. Let's do another one of shadows here, and then when that is finished, fingers crossed, we'll be able to infiltrate it, and then we can immediately start infiltrating. Supplicant has completed his task of infiltrating the farming community. Let's go to him. He's quite far away, I think. Okay, we've got another event, an apathetic witness. So it's another spend money or gain profile, and some negative happens effectively. So we can either gain profile, lose progress, that's not great, or we can spend 5 gold. He's got 50, and apart from minions, I don't think he's going to spend a lot of money. So I think 5 gold is acceptable. We've got another seal is broken, great. So we've got more power. So great, we can do our infiltration now. We've gained an agent slot, fantastic. We can spawn our Baroness finally, and we've unlocked a new power, split shadow. So this actually creates. This is a really great power but you need to have a lot of shadow on the map to use it effectively. What you do is you split the shadow from a hero. It has their stats, doesn't have their items, but you can then use that shadow to complete tasks. If they're not near their hero from which they were spawned, they lose health and effectively they will die eventually, unless they're in a location that has more than 50% shadow. So you can use these in places, what I tend to do is use them in places with high shadow, just to spread shadow everywhere. Spreading shadow, I should have mentioned this earlier. The way that we win the game is twofold. We either destroy the world via conquest and by orcs just raiding and destroying areas, turning all of the civilization into ruins, or we enshadow the world. That's the other effective measure, if you like, of how well you're doing in the game. As you can see there, settlements conquered, settlements enshadowed is what's showing us how well we're doing on the conquest victory. Now, we haven't got particularly any great means of destroying everything. Our orcs are fairly penned in, unfortunately. In fact, I think they've been wiped out here by the looks of things. And in this location, they're not going to be able to do anything. They're not surrounded by any points that they can conquer, which is a shame, but it's not the end of the world. It just means we've got to focus on something else. We've got to focus on perhaps these guys could. No habitability, no. So our orcs aren't going to be very good for us on this map by the way that they're situated. It's a random map. What we could do, however, and what I'm trying to do, is to spread shadow. Later we'll get at least one unit, potentially multiple, that effectively act as armies and are able to destroy massive amounts of the world that aren't enshadowed, of course. We can also, if we enshadow this large nation here, we can turn it into a dark empire and then use it to destroy other non-enshadowed nations. Of course, humanity will fight back against this, and what tends to happen is the chosen one, who is that? It is Dr. Phone Lorbiak. I think we looked at them a while ago. They look to be doing nothing of use, resting and resupplying. Oh dear, and the city is miles away from this, where all the action is, which is great for us. But the chosen one will eventually form an alliance of nations that are allied against your dark influence. We can see though, if he was to try and bring these nations together, that would be difficult because they're currently at war. So the chosen one looks to have a bit of a problem on his hands on this map. It's not easy for us either. And if we don't conquer, or enshadow enough of the world before 500 turns, we lose the game. Now this might not stay, it might change and become a different metric for determining whether you win or lose. And some gods, this is simply the win-lose conditions for She Who Will Feast. Other gods have got different win and lose conditions as well. So it's not entirely determined by this. However, as far as She Who Will Feast is concerned, that's the way we win or lose the game. So what we're going to do is, let's have a look at our supplicant. He's leveled up great. Let's go down here and we'll take that agent that we want. We've got a spare slot for them, so we can take them, the daughter. And while he's doing that, let's level him up. Command might not be a bad idea. Let's get some command so we can take more minions and better minions. We will also, got 2 power, so I can finally infiltrate this location. There we are, so we've now infiltrated the library here. Currently the library doesn't give any unique challenges, but in the future it's likely that from the library you'll be able to research new spells, new abilities for your agents, potentially even level them up there. We're also going to spawn, finally, a Baroness. So the Baroness is a vampire, effectively. She's a very powerful warrior. She's more powerful in enshadowed areas, which is again great for us, and she's got great minions. The idea of her is to pen an area down, and I tend to use her as like a hero assassination tool, effectively. We can use her to kill heroes proactively, and therefore she will eventually get killed, but we can do some great damage to the heroes, or we can use her a bit more stealthily to begin with and then use her very aggressively later on. She's a fairly flexible agent, but she's great. So we're going to summon her, and we've got these various starting traits, we can have Commander Vermin, which means if her combat starts and she hasn't got a minion, she automatically spawns a Vermin. They're fairly weak. We've got Peppered by Death. Gain 1 attack per 25% of death in the location. Probably not going to be doing too much death given the lack of orcs that are able to kill things. So there will be other things that kill people, of course, but unlikely that death is going to be particularly high. Or we've got Mistress of the Night. She gains 2 attack and 1 defense when in locations above 50% shadow. And that's really where she should be. She gains extra defense there anyway. And look at her stats, you can see there, 6 might, great, 4 command. Not great at intrigue and lore, but she's not designed to be. So let's take Mistress of the Night. I'm then going to do her unique challenge, which is Eternal Servitude. This will give her 3 very powerful minions, as you will soon see. Just immediately. She can only do it at a home location, but it's well worth doing. And what I think we're going to do, guys, let's call it there for now. I hope you've enjoyed this. Again, I've been Simply Fun Gaming. We'll have another Let's Play shortly, I'm sure. But if you like what you see, please like the video. Please subscribe if you want to see more. And otherwise, I will hopefully see you again soon, where we look to conquer even more of the world. Thank you for watching.